Packers fans may not be sleeping very well as we get closer and closer to the season and the draft, as they are surely wondering what the hell are we going to do to replace Davante Adams. That's just one of the questions hovering around the team. And what complicates that, Aaron Rodgers, not expected, reportedly, to participate in the offseason program. And look, I am the first one to say it's voluntary. You don't have to go. Right. You don't have to be there. You're not required to be there. If the NFL wanted participation in the offseason program to be mandatory, you come to the bargaining table and you offer something to the players. You give them some inducement to make it a mandatory requirement to get your pay during the season. You got to be there for the offseason program, and the NFL hasn't. So the players can say we're not coming. Aaron Rodgers reportedly not coming. Generally, I say fine. Specific to what's going on with the Packers right now, boy, that makes me nervous if I'm a Packers fan.
I hear you.
You got new receivers.
Right.
Hopefully it's not Randall Cobb and whoever else happens to show up on game day. Right. Hopefully there will be a guy signed as a free agent like a Julio Jones or a Jarvis Landry or an Odell Beckham Jr. or a guy that they trade for, whether it's DK Metcalf, unlikely. Chase Claypool, far more likely. I still think Claypool is the one they should make a play for, or if they draft somebody. I mean, this is it. And Allen Lazard isn't even under contract right now. He's a restricted free agent. He can hold out. He can wait. He can do whatever. They got Randall Cobb. They got Amari Rodgers, who did nothing last year. He was primarily a kick returner, I believe. And then 4 other guys that collectively have 72 total receiving yards from last season. So if they draft someone or more than one someone and Aaron isn't there to be part of the offseason program, you put a lot of pressure on Aaron Rodgers getting to know these guys, getting comfortable with these guys, getting to the point where he can trust these guys during training camp in the preseason.
Yeah.
And he's not going to play in the preseason.
No.
So you don't have much time to get Aaron Rodgers feeling pretty good about these new guys he's going to be trusting to catch the football when he throws it their way.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one, Mike. I got the same feelings. One, you explained it right. Players of Aaron Rodgers' status, superstars, guys who have been in the league, 4 years or more, and have played at a high level, like are OTAs and that part like important to them? Absolutely not. No. Those really upper echelon, high end, cream of the crop type of players. First off, 99% of them love the sport. They love working for the sport. They're doing what they got to do to be ready. They're just not there with the team. Let alone they're very talented, playing the sports like riding a bike to them. And when it comes training camp, those are the freaky guys where you go, damn, the guy hasn't even practiced all year. And look, he came out here and he's the best DB and the best defense end. And he runs the best routes, even though he didn't run a route of our offense the whole year. So like Rodgers will be fine that way. But I'm with you in the fact that, one, we've heard a lot from Rodgers over the last 2 years, 3 years with LaFleur about, the offense, and we're all on the same page and the details, and we know exactly where each guy's going to go. And then in an offseason like this, like you've talked about, where, I would think we're going to be in the draft for more than one receiver. It's going to be multiple receivers, I would think, let alone a free agent guy. Why wouldn't you want to work out some of those kinks and get on the same page throughout the spring? I think is, a little surprising to me. It is a little surprising to me. And then, they bring back a quarterback coach in Tom Clements where you think, oh, great, he's coming back. And he's probably like, wait, what the hell? Why are you? I'm not going to see you for 6 months. It doesn't add up to me.
I want to reiterate a point I've made a few other times, and this is important, and we'll see if the Packers do it. This is all the more reason to involve Aaron Rodgers in the scouting, the screening, the selection of whoever they draft. Empower him to be part of this. Get him to buy in. The best way to get him to buy into the new receivers is to include him in selecting the receivers. This is exactly what he was complaining about last year. The attitude is, you just work here. We'll worry about the players. You worry about throwing the football. We'll worry about who's going to be catching the football. If you get him to watch some film and say, hey, I kind of like what this guy can do. Look at this. Look what I saw here. Those are the little ways that a guy feels appreciated, a guy feels respected, a guy who's been around since 2005. That was a point he said last year. I've been here 15 years. I'd like to think I've learned a thing or two. I'm paraphrasing, but that was his point. And he's right. He is. He's right. So, hey, it's on the Packers for not going to Davante Adams sooner, because I know Packers fans are not like, well, we offered him more money. we offered him more money and he left anyway. Right, but if you put that money in front of him in November or December, he's taking it and he's staying. The Packers allowed it to get to the point where a real opening emerged for the Raiders to make a play for him. And then by then it didn't matter. That's the problem with waiting too long, with slow playing situations like this. If you wait too long, you're going to wake up one day and the person that you made wait is going to have decided, you waited too long.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Right.
I've checked out.
Right.
It's on you for waiting too long. It's on the Packers for waiting too long to get Davante Adams taken care of.
I think that's real.
We offered him more. Well,
player like that, yeah. What are you waiting for? Why are you gambling? Like, well, why?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you're right. Other superstar receivers I think we see in the NFL, I'm just trying to think even off the top of my head. It's very rare that it comes to that point right there where it's, wait, you're a proven commodity. You're arguably, the best receiver in football in a lot of people's eyes, and we're going to wait to the very end to maybe franchise you, maybe do it that's a rare story in itself. So I agree with you there.
So Aaron Rodgers, who is smart enough to see through it, if we're smart enough to see through it, he clearly is.
Yeah.
And that's a reason for him to be a little pissy. And I don't have any problem with that. So my point is you want him on board with these guys. Yeah. And it's even more important that he be on board with these guys if he's not going to be there for the offseason program. I mean, now look, maybe if you include him in the process of drafting and selecting and scouting, he would show up. He'd feel like, I got to be there. Hey, I put my name on the line for these guys.
Right.
They drafted this guy that I said, I found this, I saw this. I think I kind of like this guy. They brought him in here. I want to help him now. I want to boost him because part of my name is tied to whether or not this guy does well. That's what you want. That's what you want if you're the Packers. You want Aaron Rodgers to feel that connection. You need him to feel that connection. And now they're going to be putting a lot of eggs if they go the rookie route. And look at what historically rookies have done by way of production with Aaron Rodgers. If you want a rookie who's going to step in and be your number one guy and get it done, you want Rodgers to be all in with it. And I won't be surprised if we hear, and we know he's not bashful about speaking his mind at one of these future Tuesdays in his safe space with Pat McAfee or at a press conference or whatever, he starts going off about how, they made these major I said I didn't want to be part of a rebuilding effort, and they completely blew up the receiver room.
Yeah, it's shocking. It's one of the biggest blows to a football team we saw this offseason, especially I think the Super Bowl contender football teams, to where, usually one guy doesn't make you think a whole lot differently. But like we talked about, them losing Davante Adams makes me think differently of the Green Bay Packers. I think it's all shocking a little bit. Of course, the drafting of Jordan Love, the not realizing Rodgers would react like that, the not extending Davante Adams before it became, dire straits, deadline time. And then added to that, even like we saw there, we show that the rookies, right, don't have great success with Rodgers, but a lot of those times too, they were like, future plans. Randall Cobb was drafted and they already had 2 or 3 good receivers, so they could wait, hey, 2 or 3 years down the road, this will be the guy. Same with Davante Adams. They were still pretty good at receiver when they drafted him. Jordy Nelson was still there and that crew, to where they go, we don't need you to perform as a rookie and be special. We're looking at you 2 years down the road now, and then when we need you and one of those veterans leave. But now we don't have that. They haven't drafted appropriately the last few years to have that guy coming up the ranks in case Davante Adams did leave. And now they're in a spot where it's like, oh, crap, for the first time ever, there's a good chance they're going to have a rookie receiver that's going to have to be the number one guy. I don't care what we say. Like, none of those guys that they have on their team right now are going to be the number one guy. They're not capable of being the number one guy. So that's where it's just extra weird to it. Whether it's a big free agent, maybe a Julio or somebody like that, like you talked about, or the rookie, it's going to be somebody he hasn't worked before that's going to be his main target on his football team.
But that puts even more pressure
definitely
on the team during training camp. If he's not going to be there for the offseason program, and again, that's his prerogative, puts even more pressure on him and whoever the number one is going to be to get everyone on the same page, to make it happen, to be what they were when Davante Adams was there.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights From NBC Sports.